What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the WPF Season 5, Week 2. This week we are taking on YoPierre. He has a busted, scary team. Let's take a look at that real quick. He is the Empoleon FC. He has a Mega Gallade, a Superior, a Alolan Muck, which I know is coming to stop the Duosion. We got Porygon Z, Rhyperior, or Perior, however you want to say it, Audino, Skarmory, Tapu Fini, Rotom Heat, Cryogonal, and Haunter. We got all of these mons correct, except for I thought Skarmory could be swapped out for anything like Porygon Z could have came, or Rhyperior. I could have saw either one of those in the Skarmory slot and it'd been fine. But yeah, I did predict mostly because I don't see Audino or Haunter come into a whole lot of battles, unless he just wants to meme later in the season or something like that with his Haunter. I just don't see it coming. Or if someone just has a huge ghost weakness. We do have some tech on the team. I'm not going to go through all of it. I will go through it after the battle though. But as you can see right about now, we did bring Mega Diancie, Ferrothorn, Lando T, Kommo-o, Salazzle, and our boy Electrode. Now the Mega Diancie was actually last minute. It's been late doing this battle. We're doing it today on Saturday, or did it today on Saturday. So I had just so much free time this week. I kept thinking about it. I had Cloyster there like for a long time, but there was nothing I could really freely set up on. Can't set up on Gallade, dies to Close Combat. Can't set up on Superior, dies to Leaf Storm. Can't set up on Fini as I don't Oko it after a Shell Smash. And if he's like offensive, I take a massive amount of damage from like Moonblast and Scald and things like that. Can't set up on Rotom Heat unless it's like scarfed into a bad HP or something like that. Can't Oko a Skarmory without getting like a good amount of chip damage off on it. So nothing I can do against that. And then I don't even think I can set up on a Muck if it poisons me, like if terrain's not up or something like that. So I just smartly, someone talked me out of that, or a few people talked me out of that, and I did name the Mega Diancie after one of the main helpers with that. So thank you to the ones that helped me. Let's go ahead and get into this battle real quick. Turn 1 was actually a great lead for me. I was hoping it's anything not named Rotom or Gallade, because I have to get my rocks up for my Kommo-o sweep. Rocks chip damage puts Fini into 2-hit KO range. Rocks damage breaks Skarmory's Sturdy. Rocks damage puts Rotom Heat in range, I believe, if it's not heavy duty boots. I can't remember if it puts Gallade in range or not, but I think it does help with the Gallade calc as well. I don't remember it off the top of my head. So as long as Gallade and Rotom Heat didn't lead, perfect, I can get my rocks up. And I was predicting that he wouldn't bring Defog, as it's kind of hard for my team to actually get rocks up on him. I just didn't think he could fit it, so I get knocked off, which is kind of okay. Because I get my rocks up, that's all that matters, and I can still take the Fire Punch as I'm getting good chip down on this Alolan Muck, and I get a Leech Seed that lands. Leech Seed that lands is huge. As I'm looking, I'm like, even like a Poison Jab, I can still eat pretty well with my Mega Diancie. So I'm just gonna go straight into my Diancie, eat whatever hit he wants to go for. He goes for the Ice Punch, probably predicting Lando T to come in, which I think that's just too obvious. Because Lando T this week is scarfed. And so there's not, like, I have to play very well with this Lando T. Like, he has 2 switch-ins to my Scarfed Earthquakes, which really hurts me having to swap out, like just a hard swap out. So I go into Diancie here to eat this Ice Punch. It actually does 23%, which is not bad. That means I could sub up if I want to, and I could speed tie with him, but I highly doubt he's max speed on this thing. And I do get all my HP back with Leech Seed anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and sub up here as I just... Or do I sub? No, I Diamond Storm, because Diamond Storm 2-hit KOs, or it would have KO'd at that range, and then I Mystical Fire. Ooh, it's going way too fast. Diamond Storm, I think, would have been able to take out Muck from that range. Let me check his... Hold up. Let me check his... I don't think he was a whole lot of defense, was he? 200 HP. Yeah. I was able to OHKO that Muck from that range with a Diamond Storm with his set. He needed a good chunk of defense. Now I clicked Mystical Fire here as it was going to OHKO again the Skarmory after rocks if it wasn't like very, very Spadef heavy, which I felt like was going to be definitely defensively heavy. And I'm gonna put it in slow mode for a second. He actually roosts up, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. If he had Iron Head, this would have been like the trap, right? Takes a Mystical Fire, gets down to low HP, Iron Heads, knocks me out. I lose a monster on my team in Mega Diancie. But him roosting there tells me, okay, this guy does not have Iron Head. There's no way. He probably could not fit it on like a Stealth Rocks, maybe Defog, Roost, Brave Bird set possibly for like Kommo-o, or Whirlwind for Duosion / Kommo-o, or like a setup Lando T kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, there's no way this thing has Iron Head. So I'm going to just go ahead and sub up here. As I know it's really helpful to me to sub up, as I can take hits. I can take a hit while dishing off damage as well. So I take the Volt Switch, and he takes a good while to think about his switch in, which is going to be his Muck. As I do land the Diamond Storm, and crit it does not matter. Even with the rocks damage there, it was knocking it out. Or even without the rocks damage, it was knocking it out. Then in comes the Serperior. I'm like, okay. I have Ferrothorn for this thing, as if it's Scarfed, which I don't really see. Scarf would only be there to stop my Kommo-o. I think I deleted the video, which I'm really sad about, but I have used this tech before. Again, this is this very exact tech, right? I had a Scarfed Serperior with, I think it's Nature Power, so that when Misty Terrain is up, Nature Power turns into Moonblast, and I OHKO'd a Kommo-o at +1 because I was Scarfed to outspeed it. So I felt like that's the only way he would run this Choice Scarfed, but I wasn't really thinking about that. Like, there's just no way he went through the same thought as I did. I just don't feel like that, because I thought it was just probably the most crazy tech I've ever run, and it actually worked. But I think I deleted the video, which sucks because I can't find that replay. No idea who I did it to, not a clue. So I'm not really wanting to stay in here. If I stayed in here, it would have been a absolutely mad lad play, as he clicks the Glare to slow down our Ferrothorn, which honestly only helps us. If he was max special attack, which he was max special attack timid, he could have knocked me out here with HP Fire. But if he swaps out, he probably doesn't have HP Fire, which I was very intrigued about. So let's go ahead and resume this. As he swaps out, I'm like, okay, this man does not have HP Fire. I'm just going to fire off some Gyro Balls, which don't really do much to this Rotom Heat. But I'm just going to let him take me out. But that makes me think that, that crit, it kind of matters. It only matters into him being able to take me out. But as it turns out, he cannot, because I do land this Leech Seed, as I feel like he's probably scarred. Like, I'm just sacking Ferrothorn at this point, but I believe he's going to be choiced. Oh, no, I know he's choiced. I know he's choiced because he outsped Diancie when I had a substitute up. So, yeah, I know he's choiced into HP Ice. It's the only thing that can do this amount of damage to me. I'm just going to go ahead and Leech Seed up, and I actually live here, which I think is worse for me, because I kind of wanted to set up with Kommo-o here, or just go into Diancie and knock something out. But that's okay. In comes the Gallade. I was really just trying to sack this thing anyway, and I'm just clicking Gyro Ball. If he wants to click SD, okay. He Drain Punches, and it actually does more to him than it gives him back, which I think is funny. It hurt him to click that move. So I go into Diancie, and this is what he asks me on the side over here. You can't see it. It's over here, but... Or wait, can you see my mouse? It's over... Oh, yeah, you can't see it. Okay. Anyways, it's to the right over there. He asked me, how much speed are you? I mean, I was just going for the speed tie regardless. I was risking it for the biscuit. Going for the speed tie. But as it turns out, he asked me in the chat, like, how much speed are you? And that tells me immediately he tried to speed creep something. Or maybe he didn't think the Diancie was coming. Because like a lot on his team makes me think that he thought that the Diancie wasn't coming. He did speed creep it with Superior. And I bet he sped crept it with Rotom. Or maybe to outspeed like a Scarf Lando, maybe, I don't know. But sorry about that, I yawned. Yeah, when he asked me that, I was like, oh, this thing is slow. This thing is adamant, maybe. Because I knew, I'm like, all right, cool. I can knock something. I can punch holes into things right now. So I click Moonblast. Being able to knock this thing out is great. It really helps my Kommo-o sweep coming up. As I'm going to fire off a substitute here, as there's just no way that he can do anything. Like, I don't think, hang on. Diancie, I don't think his Brave Bird can break our substitute. I don't remember if he had any attack or anything. He had no attack. And he was bold for some reason. He was bold nature with Brave Bird for some reason. That's funny. So yeah, his Brave Bird was doing, because he was bold. Because he was bold, he could never break our sub ever, guaranteed. That's funny. Sorry, that's funny to me. Because he was bold, his Brave Bird could never break our substitute. But let's just say he wasn't bold. Something that wasn't minus attack. He had a 56% chance to break our sub if he wasn't bold, but that's funny that he's bold. But he says that he accidentally clicks Stealth Rocks here, and he meant to click Whirlwind, and I was like, well, that either way wouldn't have mattered because Whirlwind would have just knocked you out anyway. Anyways, I forgot. Oh crap, I forgot. Hang on, guys. Let's go back a turn. Yep, substitute. No, I Moonblast. I substitute on him because I know that he doesn't have Iron Head. I did skip this turn, not for you guys on accident. My bad. So he clicks Stealth Rocks, thinking that he wanted to click Whirlwind, but he forgot that Whirlwind was also bounced back, which is funny. So I get a free sub, which to me that like guarantees me the win almost. Like that's just freaking awesome. So I go ahead and I knock this thing out, and it's looking pretty good with us at a 5 versus 3 at this point. He sends in this Finny, and I'm like, okay, well, if I get the right rolls on Diamond Storm, and he's not physically defensive, I can just pick up a win here. Or the other thing is, if I chunk this thing down below half, I can actually send my Kommo-o in. Oh, and if it's not offensive, see, like, okay, so if it's offensive, I knock it out with 2 Diamond Storms. If it's defensive and I get it below half, I can send in Kommo-o and sweep from here. So he's just going to go ahead and actually Calm Mind up on me. As I go ahead and I Mystical Fire, making a dumb play. A really dumb play, because I look at the calc, I'm like, oh, this does like 70% with a Scald or a Surf. So that was kind of a dumb play. As he Calm Minds, and I was like, we've seen Diamond Storm. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just going to fire off Diamond Storms, because again, the same idea is if it's not defensive, which it does turn out to be defensive, knocking it down to 46%, I'm not able to 2-hit KO this thing. As he fires off another Calm Mind, and I'm like, what is going on? He could have just 2-shot me. And like, I think Lando T just kills it at this point. Like, let's see, Lando T versus not Diancie, Finny. Yeah, if I get it down below whatever it's at right now, I just kill it with Lando T, and I was like, okay, interesting. He's going to Calm Mind again. So at this point, I can 2-hit KO with Diamond Storm, because I'm doing like 30% each. So really, to me, I don't think that crit mattered. It would only matter if I like... It only makes it to where I can now click Moonblast. That's the only thing it mattered on. It makes it to where it gets rid of his chance of me missing a Diamond Storm. That's the only thing that crit does. If I had crit and killed him, now that would have extremely mattered because I would have had a sub up. But I'm at +2 defense now. And I'm like, okay, I don't really have anything that I want to take this Leaf Storm. And if it goes for like a sub or something like that, like let's see, Superior. I don't remember its HP stat real quick. Herp. Okay. Go away. Because I don't think, like, Electrode could take a hit, and Electrode could Thunder Wave this thing, because I am guaranteed faster. I'm not paralyzed, you stupid calc. I'm guaranteed faster, but my Thunderbolt was not going to break this thing's sub. So I just have to fire off Moon Blasts at this thing, hoping I don't get a special attack drop into a, which would make it a boost for him. But he is going to go ahead and sub this first turn here. I could have made a Mad Lad play and swapped into Electrode after this to save differential, and I could have Thunder Waved this thing and went into Salazzle, but I don't make that play. If he did get that sub up, he probably won the game, to be honest. That probably, like, let's see. I don't remember. Let's see, what Lando T's U-turn. Actually, probably not, because I could have went. I would have Lando T'd, U-turned, broke the sub, sacked like Electrode or something, and then I would have killed it with Salazzle. So I think we're gonna probably stay at the same differential. It just would have made the plays a whole lot weirder. So Salazzle does come in and does knock this thing out, as I did speed creep this thing. And then as long as I get some chip damage down on this thing, or if he misses like a Zen Headbutt or whatever, I can knock this thing out with 2 flamethrowers. But he does have Earthquake instead of Zen Headbutt. Now I can just clean the game up with Orlando T and Earthquake this thing and win. We do pick up a win against YoPierre, who's one of there's actually like a ranking system put into the league now, and he's one of the highest people ranked in our division. It's kind of how they based people on like their win losses, their elo or whatever, moving up and moving down in the divisions. I barely made it in the division. So technically we should be +9 right now, because Justice for Duosion, or hashtag Justice for Duosion. But it is what it is. We are sitting at 1-1, -1 differential, which I still think is not bad. I have not checked the standings yet. I will do that currently. It does put us like right out of playoffs, only because of our bad differential, the -1. But I think it's not that bad. Beating Pierre is pretty big, as he's one of the better players in the league. And we did knock out one of the kill leaders. Tapu Fini is sitting at number 2, and we did give it its only death so far. But if you guys did enjoy this, please drop a like down below. And I will see you guys in week 3. Peace out.